Hey YouTube, welcome back. My last video got a whole 9 views so far on YouTube, so I felt really inspired by my success and I thought I'd make another video. And in this video I will show you today all my EDC knives, so all the knives in my EDC rotation. And they commonly look like this. If you were to come to my house, I would say, what are you doing in my house? But you would maybe see this box in my office or workshop, and in this box there are all my EDC knives, apart from this one. This was in my pocket today. And so in the morning I can go over there and just choose which knife I feel is suitable for the day. And I will show you these knives and what I like about them and why I choose to carry them, okay? And I will go through them in a certain order. I will show you that now. Hold on. Okay, so the knives that I carry, I have them organized in basically 3 categories. The categories are these. They are basic pocket carry. Well, that explains itself, right? A knife that is just basic enough to be a pocket knife, not too small, but certainly also not too large. Something that you can carry in your pocket, probably without a clip, not too heavy. Then there is extended pocket carry, where on some days you just want something that's like basic, but a bit more, right? Maybe a bit heavier, maybe a bit gnarlier. That would be extended. Well, and then there's full size and outdoor. Now the full size and outdoor category is for knives that I can only carry on the weekend maybe or on holidays. Thus I don't really carry them that often. But these are the 3 categories. I think they explain themselves pretty well. So, and I will show you these knives not in order of my preference, but in order of how I got them, like the time that I had them. And so the first one in basic pocket carry is the Queen Steel Stockman, which I got maybe 2 years ago. But this is also a vintage Stockman. It's from 1992, 1994. It says here 1994. So this is the large Stockman model. It's 4 inches closed with a 3-inch blade. You have here nice red acrylic scales. And apart from that, this knife is everything your classic Stockman is supposed to be. So 3 blades, which with a main clip blade, a sheep's foot blade, which is the second largest, and a spay blade, which is the smallest, which is for your smallest task, right? Like adjusting your fingernails or opening mail. While the sheep's foot blade can be used for dirty tasks. Also works very well with crafting paper. And I keep the main blade clean and sharp, only for preparing food, so cutting vegetables and fruit if I'm outside. And so this knife is your classic Stockman: nickel silver bolsters, brass pins, brass liners, steel back springs, and so forth. Only these are acrylic scales and not like bone or stag. A classic Stockman. I really like it. It's from 1992 or 4. At that time, the steel that they used wasn't high quality steel, and they wouldn't really tell their customers what steel it is. It wouldn't be the time for that. This steel is probably 440A or 440B. As I said, they didn't really proclaim that to anyone. Just if you look at Case, they do give their steel a name, but it's their proprietary name, surgical stainless steel. They don't actually tell you what steel it is. Here, that would be the same at the time. They don't tell you what steel it is. It's probably 440A. So, okay, that is the Stockman. Pretty nice. I have it. I always carry it. Is in a slip-it pouch where it just slips in, and there's a cord so that you can attach it to your pants, and then it slips out really easily, but not as easy that you have to worry about losing it. Many of my knives have that, and I make these myself, right? From cloth. Takes a bit of time, but it's not difficult or anything. Right. the next knife in the basic pocket carry category is now, it's not like this, completely different, and it's also, well, much cheaper. It is the Senrenmu 7089, so 7089, and it looks like this. I only got it maybe six months ago, and it's completely different from the Stockman, and I like it very much. This is my third Senrenmu knife, and all of them have been pretty much flawless, compared to the scene in the light of the price. They have been perfect. Of course, not $100 knife perfect, but perfect for a knife that's sub $10. It's a wonderful knife. They also claim that to be 12C27 steel. You might have also seen it in my introduction video. At that time it didn't flip, because there's a flipper here, right? But there are always these little hands on the liners that push onto the blade and keep it like locked but not locked while open. So while this knife has a flipper, it's not a naturally born knife that's good for flipping, but you can make adjustments to the tightness of these little hands, and then it should flip. But now I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, alright. Because I have to grab around the camera, right? But yes, this knife does now flip with the wrist flip there. With a little bit of wrist action, this knife does now flip, and now, as you know that from other knives, now the flipper is a finger guard, because this knife locks but doesn't lock, right? Also, this knife has FRN scales, and on the back there are two more extra tools, and you will see that on some of my other knives too, that I enjoy some extra tools to be had. So the Stockman had different blade shapes that can be used in different ways. This one has here a like a cord cutter and a #1 Phillips screwdriver. These don't lock. And that screwdriver is a bit thin, right? It's a small knife. It's light. On the back side, on the other side, a flathead screwdriver and a cap lifter. I do like knives with extra functionality like this. So multi-tool blades or additional tools, those are knives that I like, because, well, I am someone who constantly modifies things or has to fix things. People around me, they know, he really likes to work on things and repair things. They'll bring me stuff that they want to be fixed, and then maybe I can use additional little tools like this, and people will say, whoa, you're always so prepared. And that is the Senrenmu 7089. Very nice for less than $10, shipped from China to your door. It's a great knife. I love it. Now, these were the two knives in the basic carry tier. Now we can move on already to extended pocket carry, because I'm not going to show you 25 knives. In fact, I'm only going to show you 6 or 7 knives. So we're going on to extended pocket carry, where you still want a knife that's, well, reasonably small in the pocket, but a little bit more. And the next one, the one that I had the longest, would be this, my only Spyderco. That is the Spyderco Native Lightweight. And so, well, you can look up the stats for the Native. This has a S30V blade, well, CPM S30V, and a backlock, and FRN handles, and no liners. And this is the version with the combo blade. This was very common at the time. These were sold at Walmart and other places. That was Spyderco's, well, budget quality offering at the time. This knife is made in Golden, Colorado, and was still only sold for maybe $40 at Walmart. So for a long time, maybe a year, I didn't carry it and I didn't like it so much. But after a while, you really get to appreciate the design. The design is solid, the craftsmanship, the precision of the manufacturing, and well, the blade shape. I do like this this combo blade. It's of course not a blade that primarily cuts. It's more like a blade that primarily rips things apart, and that's why it's in the extended pocket carry tier. The Spyderco Native Lightweight. I'm very happy with it. You know, didn't spend much money on it either. So great offering from Spyderco. I'm sure they still make the Native right now. I think they are now making it with S35 VN, but well, I don't know if that's much better than the S30V that I already have. I hardly ever sharpen this. The serrations also don't need to be sharpened. Right, this is the Spyderco Native Lightweight. Then the next one is again a knife from the box and a knife in a pouch, and that is the Case Elephant's Toe. Now this is a big chunky knife, 4.458 of an inch long, with a 3-inch blade, so the same blade length as the Stockman, but a much wider, beefier blade. It's also carbon steel, which you see has been patinaed, force patinaed by myself, and yeah, a big chunky knife. On the back side there is a smaller blade. Even that is still really big, and the springs are really substantial on this. It's not as bad as it looks now, but they are pretty stiff. So yeah, a fun knife. If this was the only knife I had and I would be stranded with it on an island, I would think, well, I could do worse. I could definitely do worse than the Elephant's Toe from Case. This is also a vintage knife. It was made in 1972 or 74. We're having it today with the 2s and the 4s. Pretty cool. Cost me a bit of money, but yeah, it's a cool knife. But it's heavy, 6 ounces maybe. So it is also extended pocket carry. And if you were to whip that out in the office, people would say, whoa, isn't that a bit over the top maybe? And this is the Case Elephant's Toe, vintage from the 1970s. This knife cannot be snapped closed because the tip of the blade would hit the back spring. You know, you have that with traditional American knives. You have these little imperfections, right? Where maybe this isn't right, or the back springs aren't cut flush, or there are gaps. Here, the tip would touch the back spring, so you cannot have that snap close. The small one can, the large one cannot. Right, Case Elephant's Toenail also has its own little pouch. A little bit too colorful maybe, but okay. Now we're moving on to another knife that, well, it's somewhere in the middle. I wasn't sure if I should put it in the extended or the basic pocket carry tier. Anyway, you've seen it in my last video, so I won't spend too much time on it. And it's the Camillus TL29, another vintage knife. The blade length would suggest that it is a basic pocket carry knife. However, it's super sturdy. It could be in both families. Right now it's another one of my favorites. I really like it, the Camillus TL29. You also see I put colorful lanyards on all my knives. Well, the ones that have lanyard holes, that is. I don't know, it's just I'm a bit maniacal about it. If I get a new knife, I won't rest easy before I have put a lanyard like this on it. So if you want to know more about this, you can see my previous video where I compare this knife to the Victorinox GAK, G-A-K, German Army knife. The GAK won't be in this box because I'm trying to keep it in, well, I'm keeping it in a good condition as a collector's piece. That's just what I do, and I don't need the saw that it has, so it's not in my EDC rotation. So Camillus TL29. Now we're moving on, finally, to the full size and outdoor tier. And well, technically there's only one little knife in this tier, but I'm going to show you an honorable mention later. The one that's in here is the Enlan EL06. So another Chinese knife. All my knives that are on the table here are either Chinese or US made. So, you know, from one extreme to the other, where US made knives might be a bit more pricey and Chinese made knives are a bit cheaper. This is the EL06 by Enlan. I have, because this is an $18 knife shipped again to your door, you can go to town on this and modify it to your heart's content. So I have put these stripes here on the blade, also stone-washed the blade. Also have have roughened up the handles a little bit. These are now much rougher than they were, right? You know, put some damage to it because this camouflage finish is painted on, and under it there is a black G10. So if you put little dents and nicks into it, then the knife starts to look more worn and more, well, rugged. Also stone-washed the pocket clip. I'm pretty happy with it. As I said, I can't really carry these full-size knives very often, maybe on the weekend. But for that, yeah, it's a nice knife. And totally happy with the $18 that I spent. The knife also, well, wore in perfectly. Now the blade centering is really nice. Wasn't as perfect when it was new. Now it's pretty good. The smoothness of the blade is good too. It falls. So the Enlan EL06, another lanyard. This time a little bit thicker because it's a bigger knife, right? Now, considering that this is basically enough, I don't really need more outdoor knives. But I do have another full-size knife. It's not in my EDC rotation because I'm really not sure yet if I like it or not. So I have had it for a long time. I show you that also. And maybe it will be added to the EDC rotation, maybe not. And that is the SOG Flash 2. So you see it has been in its box until now. I'm really not sure if I like it or not. There were many things that originally, this is an assisted knife, I wasn't sure if I liked it or not. Most of it, what I didn't like, was because when I got this knife, it was dry as a bone. The whole mechanism, right, all this, and the blade as well, and the safety, all this was completely dry. I really don't know what the workers thought when they put this together. And it was horrible, right? The action was pretty stiff, and especially the lock. It would hurt your finger so much when I would unlock it. It was horrible, and it took me so long of oiling and greasing to get this to, well, a acceptable level as it is now. The safety is still pretty stiff. I mean, it's not that I really need it, but the safety is still a bit stiff. I don't know what went wrong with that when this was manufactured. So this is the SOG Flash 2. Well, this is the drop point version, black as you can see, with serrations. Basically all these things I like, right? Black coating, drop point, yeah, pretty nice. The serrations are nice too. The blade also came really sharp when it was new. In fact, it is still like new. It is still pretty sharp. I do like the handle shape. It's light though, and I don't know, it feels very different from other things. As I said, I'm really not sure yet. The knife has a deep carry pocket clip, which is ridiculous. Sorry, here we are again. The memory card was full. So as I said, and we're almost at the end. As I said, the pocket clip is, someone had a good idea here to make a deep carry clip, but if the fabric of your pocket goes over this corner, you'll get stuck. So if I wanted to carry it, well, it would be an easy fix, right? I would just have to wrap something around this portion here so that it wouldn't ride quite as deep. In fact, the pocket wouldn't fold over and you would get stuck. That they didn't fix this before, I cannot understand. It's strange. So as you see, I'm quite torn about the SOG Flash 2. The action, I know for something that's called a Flash, it could really be a bit nicer. I don't know. It's okay, but it's not ridiculously fast or ridiculously fun. If an assisted flipper, maybe from Kershaw, I think I would be happier with it. So I'm really not sure. I think I'm gonna put it back into the box and wait another 6 months and see if I like it or not. This is the SOG Flash 2 in the version that I've shown you. So, and these are all my EDC knives. Which one is currently my favorite? Well, I don't know. Do I have to pick favorites? Well, I mean, I have many just so that I don't have to pick favorites. But okay, I mean, the elephant's toe is definitely a classic and it's a really fun, beefy knife. The TL29 is my newest and I love it. It's very well designed, it's very useful, it's very rugged. I do also like this, like the underdog, right? The little $10 San Ranmu with its like slightly too small tools. I do like it though. It feels nice in the hand. It feels nice in the pocket because it is light and because it is small. And well, the flipper, it would work if I hadn't to grab around the camera. I like this too. It is the underdog in this family. So okay, these are all my EDC knives. I hope this video will get another 9 views on YouTube and I'll be famous with these 9 people. Thanks for watching and bye bye.